Hello everyone, Teacher here. Welcome back to another video. Today I got some Haradrim copium for you all. I had considered releasing this video yesterday, but I figured we would do chapter 4 today, and I've just done it. So if you're ready, let's take a closer look. So I've just done chapter 4 and I'm gonna show you in just a moment. I just want to go over the glyphs first. So what we have, and we're gonna do them one by one. So these are like glyphs I run for chapter 3 and chapter 4. For chapter 1, I will do some testing but honestly, I know Haradrim can do difficulty 4, but I just hate the Skull Crusher, so I'm just doing difficulty 3 because I really fed up with the Skull Crusher RNG and random crit from everyone who just do massive amount of damage. So I'm just doing difficulty 3 with them for the time being. Now, if we go through Tibeb here, I do them like this, and basically everything down here is health, and that means at the end she has over 40k, and she does around 900,000. No, not 900,000. 9,000 healing. That's what she basically has. So I know I'm blocking the bottom ones, but what we have is basically Armor Piercer and Lembus, and then I'm doing. We'll move it over here just for this one right here. So I'm putting them like this. Then we go on to the next one. We have Robel, Resistance, double up, and I have an armor. You could also do basically damage here if you really wanted, but otherwise do like this. You could also do health, but I feel this is actually pretty good for both chapter 3 and chapter 4. Chapter 2 is very different. You do want the double focus down here, and then you just basically do damage or something like that. I had a really good div 5 run with them. So, but yeah, if you want to maximize your runes, glyphs, I don't know why I call it runes. Maybe because for me it would be runes. Either way, for chapter 3 and chapter 4, you want resistance down here and then armor. From what I hear in chapter 1, you would want everyone above 2000 armor actually. So there's also something there. So you could actually say this is a glyph setup that works in 3 chapters. Then if we go on to the next one, Bekaloo. Bekaloo's a little bit, again, armor, HP armor. So this could also be something that could be used for those chapters. But remember, if you do this for Bekaloo, you want glyphs with crit chance. That is the most important thing to have on her. And if you want to do chapter 2, then you have focus with crit chance. I really cannot stress that enough. So, but overall, I would run double resistance and armor on them down below. And then I would swap out with focus on chapter 2. So this is kind of like on the Good Glyph Guides update after a lot more testing. Down here, we also run resistance. This was actually just by chance. I do like a focus here because expose is actually pretty nice. And speaking of EF2, I'm thinking of actually making this level 6 basically for the more damage, because I do feel this would actually help a lot in especially chapter 4, so I'm probably gonna do that. Oh yeah, and before we move on, Tibeb almost done. I wouldn't want to go to 6 down here for another regen stack because she heals so much, but I want this one, and a fortitude for 2 turns I think might actually work in chapter 3 and chapter 4 as well with some good RNG, so definitely do that. It might come as no surprise here, but again, Last Stand and Armor Piercer. I would, however, say for Wubite, I would do Shield Wall, simply just to mitigate some damage, but again, resistance. And for him, you can do some, you can actually do HP. So you could do that, and then, yeah, everything really, really good. So with that out of the way, let's go over, and this was actually first attempt video. So this is the positioning. You always want Robel in the middle, just like in Chapter 2 and Chapter 3. Bekaloo, and then you want Robel and Wubate right behind. So yeah, this was basically first attempt with them for the day. I could probably have redone it, see if I could get a 900k. This is 900k. So I'm doing difficulty free at the moment because I know I can get a kill before first flame burst, because that 30% extra damage is really, really nice. Or, well, the 30% heal is not nice. It's really nice for the Balrog, but it's not nice for me as a player. So, opening, ideally, you would actually want Bekaloo to not be blinded. And the reason for this is I believe there's very hidden mechanic in here with how you use the Haradrim ability. So ideally, you wouldn't want Bekaloo blinded. But we do this because this way, with a Lemba set, you open up with haste, so you remove those two Banes that are down, because Bekaloo removes 2, where Tebebs only removes 1, and you gain haste on all members, so that would really help you a lot. So that is the ideal opening. Tebeb goes second, Bekaloo first. Well, even if you could manipulate it, maybe I would actually say if you had the speed manipulation, I actually think Tebeb first would actually be ideal if you really wanted to try it out. And I hope someone out there will try it and then drop a comment down below. Tell me how it went. So we just did like this. Fortitude, again, little bit unlucky that it went over there. We land everything, because this is where it would be nice. Tebeb cleaning the haste means that now I would have been able to do a double on Robel and Wubate, so no Banes. So that would be pretty nice. And I think, so yeah, I do like this, because that would enable me to have a heal right now. That means those two members would, or one of them at least, would probably get a fortitude. And I don't know, no, it might be F2 here, but if you could do that, it would be nice, because then maybe if you actually did it like this, then here you could taunt through special 1 on Robel. You could also maybe do some, because we do see here it resists, and then does like this. Maybe if the turn meter had landed, I would have my Wubate up and going. No, I wouldn't. We can just see that on the spacebar here. So ideally, you would want a fortitude here on Robel, and then you would want to taunt. That is what I believe is the ideal way. So again, Bekaloo, not blinded in the initial one. Tebeb going second. Throw down the haste through Lembas. Clear everything up. Take your turns. Then Bekaloo, clear 2 of the flames into a Robel provoke. So we just do like this. Here we go. That is the random attack it does. There we go. Let's do cleansing so we get some points. Here we got a resist, really, really vital for the points. And there we go. So one would say calculated. I'm gonna go ahead and say super lucky for me. Now this sucks, however, the fact that I didn't have that available right there. Again, a resist due to fortitude. And then we go into flame form. This is actually how flame form should work for you in difficulty 3 with Haradrim, that you get the flinched done, then you do a few attacks, then you go right into a flame form, because for Haradrim, flame form is considerably easier thanks to Robel. Begaloo. I actually mess up here because I shouldn't cleanse just over there. I should actually have done attacks and got it down to 8 stacks. And again, I mess up because you cannot inflict Banes. So here, that was 2 mistakes, and I think they cost me in the long run. Because we would have been down to 5 here. There we go. And that means I wouldn't have had to take that additional flame burst right there. So I really messed this one up, I think. Nothing I know. So there we go. Here we go like this, and lovely, lovely. Weaken, really nice. I was considering not doing that, but I wasn't sure. So let's get the slow down really good for a 2-turn slow. Turn meter reduction. Now that right there is actually pretty nice, the fact that it removes shadow. And Wubite working really well finally, so he actually cleanses and then does the attack. Remember back in before they fixed this, he would actually do the attack first and then remove his Banes. Again, resists, sadly. I'm really unlucky here. I tried this one just to see if I could get the Wubite attack, but I couldn't. Luckily, Wubite resists right there, and there we go. I'm just doing this here. So sad, so sad. There we go, let's get those done. At that point I was just thinking damage, so I wasn't considering that he would go into shadow form very, very soon. That's why I didn't save it. Otherwise, that would have been perfect right there. So, yeah, I messed that up for myself. There, I remembered that is what does more damage. And boom, he comes out. First run, 761,000. Pretty good. Now give me just a moment, then I will have the chapter 3 full Haradrim video up and running. So for you, it will only feel like a second. So we're back. Again, it felt only like a second for you. So we're doing it like this again. This positioning is a must. And you want one of the first row to be targeted here. You must get the mark onto any of these 3. If it isn't, reset. Now, for me, I always want to see if I can kill the fire starter because that advantage and crit chance is so bad. But again, the first thing you must do is open up with Robel Special 1 so you get the mark over there. Resist, really nice. That's actually amazing. Again, it's same glyph setup as you've just seen in the beginning of the video. We do like this. Really, really unlucky here that I don't get any stack reduction. Then you go into the special 2 from Wubite, so you get heal. Now, sadly, Fortitude comes down onto Bekaloo and Yef2. Ideally, that should have been on Robel and Wubite. Then we do like this. We go over to the fire starter. Yeah, I actually do this just to get haste and turn meter. Here we go. Now, this is a big blunder by me. This is a really big blunder by me, I feel. because I forgot there was a healing. It is, however, good this way. Now, the worst thing that can spawn for you here is honestly a Skull Crusher. And I want Skull Crusher gone because that slow is really not nice. So we swap it back. We do like this. And let's just see who gets the heal. So Fortitude onto Self and Yef2. This is sadly random, so there is some RNG element to that. And this slow is really, really unlucky. Luckily, we have this here, and then we have this up and running. Had I been really lucky, it would have gone on to Wubite. And here I was considering restarting. Like, the reason why there's a pause here is because I'm writing on Discord to someone. And honestly, I was really surprised here. 852k. I think this is my absolute max. And I was considering going to restart and do it with Charu because I know I can get a little bit higher. But also I did some math here to just make sure that with this run on top of my two 1.5 runs, can I get mythical currency? And the answer was yes. So I went with this run. At least I did that at the end. There we go. Here we get cleanses, but we don't do anything else. Now these two combined actually pulls a pretty nice score. Actually, it's just Yef2 then. Because a block is 9,000 points. Look at Yef2, that champ. A chat lord. He just does this. And there we go. Luckily, we get our turn meter. And boom. So this is where we're at for the time being. Again, my Haradrim, really nice. They score a 900k in Chapter 1. I know they can score higher, but I'm just so fed up with the RNG in Chapter 1. They score a 1.8 to 1.9 in Chapter 2. Chapter 3, you see they can score above 1 million. I would say Wubite having his special 1 leveled up is actually even better. With Charu, instead of Yef2, you can actually get to 1.5 if you have a fully leveled team. And you have a little bit of RNG going your way. So that's basically a 1.8. Technically, let's go with a 1.3 just to keep it nice and even. That's a 3.1. Then you have Chapter 1. That's a 900k. That's 4 million. And then you saw my run on the Balrog, and that is 4.7 basically. And if we then add up everything that goes ideally, that's another 200k. Let's say you get a 2 mil run. However, I would think you might actually need gear 10 here or there, especially on Bekaloo and Robel. But that's 200k more. Then let's say you get a 1.5 actually on your what's it called? It's called your Chapter 1. There you would actually run Daramiri instead of Yef2. I know this has been done. Sovereign has made that happen, so you could actually say that's another 600k score increase there, but it did take some time for him to get it done. So that is basically pushing 5.5. And yeah, you are looking, if this team was fully invested and then with Charu and Nerimiri swapped in and out, we are probably looking at a team with 2 swap-ins that can do overall 6 million. Not bad. When Tibet basic is leveled and Yeftu as well, like I will do her basic, then I will probably do Yeftu, no, Wubite. I will actually do this one just to get the cleanses because it will help in chapter 3 and chapter 4. Then I will do Yeftu for his special one. I will try difficulty 4 at that point on the Balrog, see if I can make some magic happen. But overall, I feel this team is pretty good, and I really like the fact that I can do them full Haradrim now instead of going with some swap-ins. So this was really, really fun for me. And that is what is most important in this game at the moment. Try to have fun and keep the courage up, and I'll see you all next video.